Cheers.
Yes, cheers. Oh, it's recorded. Oh, yeah. Right, let's go. So a very warm welcome again to our videos. This is Nicola and my dear friend, and I'm Jenifer. And thank you very much for joining us today in the kitchen for another chit chat about all things to do with living our authentic lives and our connection to spirit and to the land. So Nicola has come along again today and joined me for a cup of tea. So how are you feeling?
I'm all right. I was saying though, I've had a difficult journey to get to you today.
I know.
Well, and it's so to start off with, the car alarm wouldn't go off for 10 minutes and I was pressing every button going and that didn't go. Then I came across traffic lights and then I realized I'd forgotten something, and then I realized that I parked, went come and see you, and then I just got round the back of the car and the car was rolling back, so I hadn't even put the handbrake on. So today's been a day which has already tested me quite a bit.
But we've had some rosemary oil.
Had some rosemary oil, so now we're a bit more focused.
And we've got some licorice tea.
Yeah, but I was thinking, you know, sometimes you get quite a lot of negative signs, don't you? Or things that you think. So a car journey to me, if I dream about it, it always seems a journey. So all these things come in here. I was thinking, is it right today?
Carry on chatting. What's that? It's the postman. We've got a delivery. That means
so all these signs today are kind of feeling like I'm running against the tide a little bit, or going against the grain. And I think sometimes we come across days like that, don't we, where we think, should we be doing this? Should we not be doing this? Is this a sign? I don't think it's a negative sign. It's just a lot of stuff that's going on.
Yeah, I know. And the postman arrived with my parcel. I've got some books for my future granddaughter. Yeah, we sometimes think, oh, that's my phone.
That's your phone now. You better go and answer it, yeah. But so I was thinking, should I come or should I not come? However, I'm here now and we're having a chat. And I think it's because sometimes it's a good thing to carry on going. So our goal is just to have a nice little chat today, just to enjoy each other's company.
Yeah.
And that's already happened. So it was well worth it, even though there's already been quite a lot of adversity to get here.
Yeah, because I said to you all, come for 10. I won't go shopping. I have plenty of time to prepare. And then it's like Drago's had a few accidents outside. And then it's like doing everything. I thought, well, I could have gone shopping and still been ready. So why is everything going slow? But yeah, as soon as I'm in your company, I'm just like, and it does feel like, you know, we're having this little, you know, get-togethers and chats, and I don't think it's anything stopping us. I think it's maybe just the excitement of the energy building up. But yeah, what we're going to talk about. Oh, sorry.
It's okay. It's yeah, maybe the reason being, maybe it is us stopping ourselves, or it's kind of like a little sign to talk today about how to overcome barriers, or and even what the positive signs are as well, because positive signs say it's beautiful in the sunshine. I've already seen feathers. You know, there's also positive signs. I think she wants to go out now.
Oh my goodness. And then also I saw this most beautiful little robin this morning. I did. She was like a little diddy little thing on the fence. The little she must have been a baby robin, but she was so beautiful. And I took that as a sign of spirit. Whenever I see a robin, I always think of loved ones in the spirit world, and it's their way coming closer, saying this is a good decision that you've made, and this is the right path and the right way forward.
Yeah, so it's a good thing, but we just got to keep on going forward, haven't we?
We have. So I'm very curious, because you've bought your box, because Nicola does readings from home, don't you? But you also go to people's homes as well.
Yeah. So I said to Spirit World, I said, what would you like us to do today? And they said, well, you can discuss card reading and how it can help everybody. And cards are essentially signs in some ways, the little helpers. They are little daily advice, a music card of the day, which means dance to our own tune. So we'll just do what we feel like today, or listen to what the card can depict as well. But so I think card reading today and how it can help people, because people think that, you know, that because they're not I don't know, don't name themselves as a psychic, that they can't utilize tools, or which is essentially what cards are, as a psychic tool. They can't access their own information, when you can, if you're willing to work with or look at cards or study cards in some ways, oracle cards, then they can really help you kind of get a little daily message or even a weekly message. I think some of the fascinating things that you can do with cards, if you're doing a card a day and you keep coming out with the same card sign, it can't be by chance, can it?
No.
Some things are just not, some things are just not, the coincidence level is just way up there sometimes when you're doing cards. So I really like cards, and it's how I work with my psychic skill. It's a tool in between me and I guess my intuition. My cards is what I prefer to use.
So when you do a card reading, you're reading the cards, but then do you feel spirit come quite close to you and pass on messages at the same time? Is that how you work as a medium and a psychic?
It is in reading. So I will shuffle the cards and lay them out, and the psychic side of the reading is reading the cards. But naturally, yes, mediumistic, a link with spirit world, someone from spirit world visiting will come in to kind of help with the reading, or kind of like give little extra tips or little extra suggestions, or a caring message alongside that.
Do you know, when I listen to you talk and with the medium side, or I feel like I felt my shoulders just relax, and the card readings and the mediumship just brings so much comfort, doesn't it? Because
it does to people, I think.
Yeah, because we're on this journey, aren't we? And sometimes we can only see that just this narrowness, this path, but spirit and the cards and signs are always around us, guiding us and helping us to kind of like look this way or that way, and they see the bigger picture, don't they? And our potential, because sometimes we don't know.
We don't see our potential sometimes, do we?
No.
I don't know. Somebody else might say, "Oh, you're excellent at this and next," but you don't realise it.
No.
And it's only when you a reading often will highlight what you're good at, and will highlight areas that you need to go into, or a little gentle push or a nudge, or even a shove or a kick up the bum to go do some things. Some cards and readings can help us with that.
Yeah, I always think of the cards of like, what do I need to know for my highest good that's going to help me on, like yes, no questions, if that's what I mean. I'm very intrigued to see how, I know how the cards work, but how do you do your cards?
So probably similar to you in some ways. The first set of cards was given to me by a lady that she had more faith in me than I had faith in myself, I think. So she said to me, "Nicola, I want you to do a reading for me and my dog." And it was at a time when I was not being paid for it. So she brought along some cards, and some of these are the original cards that she gave to me. Now, I didn't originally gel with them. I thought they were boring pictures. I wasn't very complimentary against them. It's like they look okay, but they're just not. I don't know, a bit more fairy-fied, I guess. And but these were kind of like boring and with words. I thought, I'm not gonna be able to work with these, am I ever? But it was the only set of cards I'd got, so I pursued it and persisted with it and started to do readings. And really, it was just 3 cards originally, so past, present, and future. And kind of spreads which were, I'd read about there's a cross spread that you can do. There's a circular, an annual reading you could do, like a clock to a certain extent. So I was trying different techniques and different methods. Now I do 7 cards, which I think is similar to how you read 7, got 7 chakras, because I like the healing element of that you can look at every aspect of a chakra or an energy center. And so a card will be placed in an area which would represent that. And I think when you're working with cards, for me, 90% of card reading is the allocation of the intent. So if the intent is I want a healing reading or a reading about my health, or I want a reading about my career, say for example, the more focus you can have in your intention, the better the reading that you'll get from it. So for me, I maybe 70%, maybe up to 90% is the orientation of the question, and therefore the layout that comes with it. So if you're doing one for yourself, you might ask, well, what a card for my health, or a card for my relationship, or a card just for my highest good. And then that card seems to hold more resonance than if you're just pulling a card out willy-nilly, if that makes sense.
Should we give it a go?
Yeah, we can give it a go. We can do a card of the day. The only time when I started to twig my cards were doing okay, or I thought I had a bit of faith in them, and it's going back a few years now, I was doing a reading for a lady who I didn't know her, and this I'll try and find it whilst I'm chatting. It's the card of nature. I'll find it in a moment. And it was, there we go, that card. So that card came out for a lady.
Oh wow.
And normally that card kind of means, oh, you need to get out into nature, you need to kind of put your feet on the floor and walk, and do more things with nature. But then somebody whispered in my ear, Mother Nature, Nicola, Mother Nature. And then I twigged what they were going on about. This lady was on a fertility journey and was wanting a baby. So the Mother Nature card, then I thought, I twigged, oh, my cards are working. And it was like the dawning of reality. It's like, oh, your cards can do something quicker than what you can do. They are your intermediary. And so from then I worked with them and trusted them a whole lot more.
Brilliant. Did she go on to have a baby?
In her case, yes, yeah.
Oh, wonderful. That's wonderful.
So you want me to do a card for you, card of the day?
Yeah, I'm very intrigued with what's my career?
Oh, your career pathway.
Yes.
Oh, right. So straight up, so you've asked about your career, and your card is the Ideas and Inspiration card. Card readings will never necessarily tell you what to do, and readers shouldn't tell you what you should be doing with your life. It's up to you as a decision. But the Ideas Inspiration would be, it means it kind of like ideas are flooding in at the moment. And you might be overwhelmed with how many ideas or opportunities that are presenting themselves to you. So there might be different career pathways. And this is where I link with the card, but I also link with your aura. So it's like, oh, right, okay. So it's like 4 different opportunities coming up. So one will perhaps be healing. One is card reading. The other one is perhaps more workshop orientation, because I can see you doing workshops and groups, or with groups of ladies in particular, to be fair, and maybe even more outside work, or working with Mother Nature, as we've just had the card be mentioned for a reason. And so that's the 3rd opportunity. But there looks to be a 4th opportunity that looks to be an idea coming in, and I think that holds with the wider groups, not just people that you can see in your in the physicality, should we say, in a physical group. This must be like a group online, which I know that you have done some work with, but this feels like an extension of that. So the card linking me to your aura is like, oh, all these pictures kind of buoyant that I can see, or that would help you to formulate what your ideas, or what you're inspired by. Now, the inspired by, they're underlining for me now. So again, where my clairvoyance links in with the cards, like, no, Nicola, you need to focus on this. So what are you inspired by? I mean, what floats your boat? So nature's coming in at the moment a lot.
Massively.
And, flower essences and the outdoors, the love of the outdoors, and spiritual aspect of linking to outdoors. So if that's your inspiration, it's kind of being underlined. That's where we got to go.
Right. Thank you. Yes, because after having that conversation with you, like wanting to link into the mediumship side, and that's one of the things that just really inspired me. But each morning, like, I'm going out and I'm looking at the garden, and also what's inspired me, because the books is like with my granddaughter who's due in April. I want her to have all these books on nature and fairies and the mythical and the magical realms that I do think exist, but we've lost. So that's what I feel. Also, when I was listening to you talk, can we have a card for the collective? So what is, because this is going to be quite a powerful year, isn't it? 2024.
It is, yeah. Oh, same card that came out earlier. I love coincidences.
Yes, it's upside down.
Yeah, well, that means it's coming in. So yeah,
really?
yeah. So no such thing as coincidence, is there? It's like the universe knows best. So the power card, the music card came out earlier as the card of the day, weirdly. Or I can't remember now, but it just came out, didn't it?
Yes, when you got the cards out.
This one card, and so it needs to be mentioned. So music is essentially a card which it is about listening to music and music being soothing to people. So there's a lot of sound therapy coming in, and a lot of sound therapy for treatment. So I know that there's a lot of sound baths coming up in the area, and there's more. I've heard talk about the link between sound therapy and healing quite difficult conditions, or being helpful for difficult conditions like cancer and things like that. So music is perhaps coming more, and the links between sound and frequency is phenomenal. So how we can link sound to color and that to numbers is phenomenal. But the link that I also make with the music card is dancing to your own tune. So more about perhaps being in your own space, your own time, joining with what feels right for you. So going with your flow and not being perhaps stuck maybe, or resisting. That's what we've been doing today. We've been resisting our flow.
Yes, we've had fixation or fixed idea of how it should go, rather than just going with the flow.
Yeah.
So I think Spirit was saying to us, just turn up, chat, and let it all be.
Yeah, and and so yeah, we're resisting. That's why my car, we're going whatever, and then the phone and
the postman,
and you name it. So going with the flow is part of what this card's about. But yeah, dancing to your own tune. So you might have ideas that you want to do that might not resonate, say, with your family or with your but it doesn't mean that there is any conflict with you going against what their ideas may be. But this is kind of like doing what's true to you, and from exploring that you might find different pathways which are really interesting for you, or different to what we've been doing previously, or what you've been doing previously in your life. So it's kind of it's a nice card which does herald a new beginning, or heralds a newness. It's a bit like self-love, I guess. Music is like, if you dance to your own tune, you're doing that's your own heartbeat, you're doing what you want to do, and doing it in a harmonious way, or it makes you be more harmonious, which is what music's essentially all about, sound's all about.
And I that's what I've noticed with the energy of 2024, because it adds up to an 8, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
And so 8 is the sign of affinity, and I do truly believe, like the last like in 2020, that was representation of the Tower card, and things had to away and the old come out. But now, as we're moving forward into the 2024, it is about dancing to your tune and being authentic to yourself and listening to the heartbeat. And I think that's a very strong message for the collective, you know, to really kind of like look at their lives and where do you feel you're not living the life that you came here to live. And it's like, you know, leaning into more the things that bring you the happiness and the utter joy, which music does. It uplifts you, doesn't it?
It does uplift you, yeah.
So when you're doing something that you enjoy, it's uplifting, and it can be something very simple as tending to the garden, or something, a career change, whatever anyone is wanting. This is a very powerful year to implement those changes that they want to make. And it can be very subtle, simple things, can't it?
It can be quite, change can always also present its what was it, you know, change, prospect of change can be quite challenging.
Yeah, because we're afraid.
It's like what's it's like going against the grain, or going against what you've known, going against old patterns. And so change, so I think perhaps these few months have been about, not that we're scared of change, but we may be resistant to it a little bit. It's scared to make perhaps some of the changes that we need to make, even sort of as the world. We know that globally we're struggling with pollution and all sorts of different things are globally affecting us. But there's a lot of people trying to create a beneficial change now. And yeah, with obviously that resistance to that, I think will be overcome throughout the year. But initially, we're only in the first few months, so we've got to wait a bit of time so that we are getting through the resistance or the challenges that may face with change.
Yeah, because I was Glyn was watching something on the telly yesterday and how they make paint. And it really upset me because it was like this massive landscape. You saw the green, the trees. It was in England, Dorset way. And they quarrying it to make paint.
Oh.
And it really upset me because I thought, what are we doing? What are we doing to this planet? Well, I don't think of her as a planet. I think of her as Mother Nature. What are we doing to our mother?
Yeah.
You know, just so we can paint our walls.
Yeah. Yes. Something decorative.
Yeah.
And something I read yesterday, or I watched it, and it felt ridiculous. Is trying to grow all these nice herbs and all these kind of lovely things, and then somebody I saw post on all this plastic. Oh, we can grow it in plastic seed trays now.
Oh, yeah.
Is the plastic leaking into the soil, which is also therefore affect our good intentions are to grow our herbs and vegetables, but are we also introducing more contaminants into it by using plastic containers to do that with the leaching of the plastics? I'll have to look more into it. And she was talking about going back to growing with just wooden blocks, shall we say, or wooden trays. But I was sort of coming into a quandary that, what are we doing to Mother Earth? We've come so far, but are we making it worse, or have we made it worse? And it's up to us to kind of try and make it better, I guess. So I think sometimes we feel like we're trying to do right, but in other words, we've done wrong in some ways.
Yeah.
Or it's just getting through the initial problems, maybe, to get to where we want to be.
Yeah. But then, like, your intention comes from love, isn't it?
Yeah.
To build. So to build, why did I think you must be building something?
We are building something. That is true.
Yeah. But then your intention, so the way forward, you saw that post for a reason. That was a sign, wasn't it? To look at alternative ways of how you can do your seedlings.
Yeah, so not so that the conversation about plastics and whether it does leach or doesn't leach doesn't come into question in what I'm trying to do. Yeah. Which is organic gardening, essentially. And trying to be quite natural about things and working with, as when Mother Nature comes a lot into our conversation.
Yeah.
Working with Mother Nature in a most productive way I can.
Yeah, I feel like we need another top card from that for the collective. Trust. Trust, yeah. So listening to your what is your tune? What is it that you want to manifest into this world? What is it you want your life to be? And then just trust that you are being helped and guided.
Yeah, I think it's a card that comes up a lot into people's readings, because if we go through any crisis, and we will go through crises in life, you do lose your trust. I don't know how many times I've said to my spirit people, oh, they must have fed up of hearing this. Where are you? You're not here, kind of thing. If you were here, I wouldn't go through this. Stroppy teenager Nicola, although I was a lot older at that particular point, many times I've said it throughout my life. You do lose trust, you lose faith. And it's how to regain that, I guess, that trust that everything is for a reason. So how many times have things collapsed in our lives for it only to come better eventually?
Definitely. And also we tend to think of spirituality as like light and roses, and so not so forth. But also, like, sometimes we have challenges in our life and we have to have the courage to face them. And then when we face these challenges that come our way, we realize just how strong and powerful we are and how resistant we are. So I think these challenges, I don't see them as, oh my God, why did that happen? As more as an opportunity to remember who we truly are and what great strength we've got within us. And by facing these challenges head on, we gain our courage, and we overcome so many fears. We realize, wow, I've coped with that, I dealt with that, come out, I can do anything.
Yeah.
So
It is, a very difficult topic. When people have, say, lost someone that's so close to them, regaining trust with the universe is quite difficult, I think.
Massively.
I think I'm talking about personal experience with me, 5 years after my mum's passing. It's only now that I probably I'm not really expecting the next catastrophe, or I've got joy in what I'm doing. And it does take a long time to get through those things. We just have to trust that everything will be okay in the end, and that going through even the most extreme crises, you can come out the story that you're telling, or the story that you can orientate to, can be a better self or a better way forward. But yeah, trust is a very difficult card, difficult thing to
Talking about your mother and our loved ones, part of life is like people coming into our lives, and then there comes the day when they go, and it's heartbreaking, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
But where, like, our ancestors believed in the afterlife, didn't they?
They did, yeah.
And we do feel them around us, don't we?
All the time. And I think in our society, the conversations about death are probably not the norm to a certain extent. But I lost my dog Sally. She was 15. I lost her about at Christmas time, and she was, bless her heart, she was super old. In the last year of her life, she'd had a stroke, she'd had cancer twice, she'd had all sorts of things. And I was talking to her in my mind, and that will sound strange, but you can share thoughts with animals. And I said to her, look, I don't think you're going to have long left here. I think your life's not going to last that longer, Sally. Are you okay? And she said to me, the only person that's keeping me here is you. The only person that is fearing death is you. And she had no fear of death whatsoever. I think along our pathway, we are, I suppose, fighting for survival so much that death has death is different, or we have different feelings about death, and yeah, in theory it is like a new beginning. It's a fresh start. It's kind of like, well, fresh just in terms of going to heaven, if you believe in the afterlife. But yes, life does have a cycle. We're all going to die at some point. Everybody around us, don't want to be too depressive, but you are going to lose people that are close to you, and we do seem to have quite finite, our feelings about death or understanding about death is not, we perhaps can evolve that a little bit, I think.
I like the thought, like a fresh life. It's like this body becomes tired, doesn't it? And then it's like, that's one lifetime. But yeah, that's a whole different subject. So trust in our abilities, trust in ourselves, trust that doors open for us, and some doors don't open, and they remain shut for a reason.
Yeah, I wanted to be a ballet dancer when I was younger.
Did you?
Absolutely, loved it.
Did you?
Yeah, when I was before I got into mediumship, I was I used to do 4 or 5 lessons a week, really. But my feet are not strong enough. I've got flat feet.
Oh,
so I kept breaking a tendon underneath, so I couldn't go down that pathway. I couldn't be a ballet dancer
because you were never meant to be a ballet.
I was not meant to be one. No,
you were meant to be a medium.
That's true, yeah.
Because mediumship and mediums and psychic, it is like just that reassurance in life, isn't it? Can bring so much comfort.
Yeah.
Which cards do you feel drawn to?
These ones are romance cards, so we shall bring in the love cards.
Oh,
love cards, and then their life purpose cards, and tarot cards in a normal reading I'll do to back up if I want to.
So for the collective, this is the message: heart-to-heart conversations. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. So that's the right way round, isn't it?
Yeah. That card there. You can't see it. There we go. And that one's, well, we're having conversations now, aren't we?
Yes.
Probably going off on a different tangent than we thought it go on.
Yes. Yeah. Then I suddenly realised we didn't introduce the Hoover, did we?
Oh no, we didn't. No.
So honestly discuss your feelings with each other. So one of the things like we've talked about in the past was like how we've been friends for a long time. And then I was saying to you in a text, I think it was, how I see us as two green witches sat around an oak table talking about things. And I just feel like something is building and something is being presented to us as we move forward to come together and work at certain times and bring it, manifest into this world something. I do feel like it's something to do with the herbs you're growing. I do feel like it's something that's going. One of the things I want. Yeah, you're right. I have been getting loads of ideas and inspiration using herbs as healing, but I saw the herbs as being placed on the couch and then people laying on top of them, or the herbs being placed upon them. So the vibration of the plant and the herb is part of that healing journey as well.
Well, that's you're linking with the plant spirits then, aren't you? So that's or nature spirits. So that's there is I've been reading recently, and I've got yet to explore it, about, yes, there's the therapeutic quality of herbs, but there's also the spiritual context of the herbs as well. So I was Googling a herb called motherwort, and it can really help with anxiety and calming. It's a calmative herb, but it also helps with the spiritual side of a mother connection. So if you've had any issues with mum, or if you've had any issues with motherhood, it's a very good postnatal one. It's very good at helping the spirituality of somebody as well. So connecting with the spiritual healing of the herb sounds like what you're sort of looking at.
Gosh, yes, it is. You know, like when I'm listening to you and I'm like, oh my gosh, yes. So I'm going to explore this.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's something really, and it's probably going to sound really weird to some people, but if you believe in talking to spirit world, then you're kind of acknowledging that I acknowledge that spirit's not just people that have gone to spirit world. It can be our animals or plants or trees. So a long time ago, I was doing a meditation with a group. I became a tree. Now, it sounds so strange, and I became a really kind of tall tree, and I had the most wonderful kind of like feeling of connection to everything across the planet. So the roots being connected to Mother Earth, and Mother Earth being the whole collective. But when I had my, I think Jade would have been about 3, and Jasmine would have been about 1. And I was sat, it was just before Christmas. We'd bought a Christmas tree in a live one and put it into the lounge. And I was sat there and I was thinking, oh, I hope I'm making the Christmas right for them. I hope I've got enough presents for them. So I was quite worried that, as you do, that they're going to have a great time at Christmas, and have I got the food, and everything's settled. Then I heard a little conversation in my mind, and I thought, where's that coming from? And the conversation isn't like a voice that talks to you, but it's just like a feeling. And so I sat within the present. I sat very near to the tree. And so the conversation came from this tree, and it was very new to me. So even talking to trees at that point was very strange. I thought, oh my gosh, I can't talk to a tree. In actual fact, they're very good at wanting to heal you. So I was just looking at the tree and thinking, oh, you're beautiful. And the answer came back from the tree, something along the lines of, I'm making a sacrifice for you, like you make a sacrifice for your children. And I oh my goodness me, kind of the emotion that welled with me was kind of phenomenal. And I said to the tree, I said, oh gosh, thank you for your wise words. We're going to take care of you, I said to the tree. I said, don't worry, we're going to plant you in the garden, and you're going to, I said to the tree I was going to take great care of it because I'm passionate about trees. Now, the tree told me back, you're not going to be able to. And I said, no, I am. I'm going to water you, and I'm very good with plants and trees. So I am going to save you. It's okay. And you're going to be in the garden. You're going to live a nice, happy life. And the tree said, no, you're not going to be able to save me, Nicola. So I'm sacrificing my life for you to have this enjoyment, have the beauty of the tree. Now, as at Christmas, we put the tree outside, I was watering it and everything. And along came probably the worst storms ever. So the tree was bashed about a bit, it was blown about, it was all over the place. And as a result, the tree died. And so the tree kind of obviously knew its potential.
Wow.
And obviously knew it was going to happen. But the message that it was kind of like a sacrifice, and motherhood can be a sacrifice to a certain extent. You can't perhaps pursue your career as much as you want to at that particular time when you've got young children. There was kind of like a phenomenal message which stood with me. Now, the synchronicity of this, that tree I bought from Greetham Garden Centre, and I was living in Oakham at that time. I lived in Oakham right in the place I was living, or we're living in Oakham for 15 years. I moved to Loughborough for 5 years. I'm now back on the plot where that tree was grown.
No, how bizarre.
And I only twigged 3 next door was the garden centre, and that the people on our plot had been growing trees, Christmas trees. And our woods, so it's all Christmas trees.
Wow.
So synchronicity and signs and just trust is like,
yeah, that is so magical. So magical. What's this card
so
say?
this was engagement.
Oh,
Really get engaged, but the level of commitment, so it says your life is ascending to a high level of commitment, but we don't get anything if we don't put action in, do we?
exactly.
So
exactly.
meeting today and kind of like and entertaining your own pathway, or making the effort to kind of read books, or to pursue your pathway, or to follow through your ideas, it has to come as an outcome.
Yeah, and I think that's what, like with the New Age movement, it's always been about what do you want to manifest in your life, have this focus board, and just feel as if you. But that's good and that's right. But the missing link or piece is making that engagement and commitment and dedication to achieve it.
Yeah, you've got to get off your bum, so as to speak, and do it. If you want to meet somebody, you've got to kind of put yourself out there to meet people. If you want to progress, you've got to read. And engagement is making sure that you're giving that opportunity. It's quite hard to stop scroll hole or Netflix.
Yeah,
it's very hard. We've got a lot of distractions. So engagement is all about, yes, hard work sometimes to get to where you want to be,
and committed,
but being committed to that.
Yeah, one of the things, like, it keeps coming back round in circles and circles and circles, and it's like our connection to nature, and how nature, when you talk about nature spirits, it just fires my imagination. But we also got house spirits, haven't we? Each house has got its own spirit.
Yeah.
And technology as well, like laptops have got a spirit of itself. Apparently.
Oh, I know you can kind of the cards have got their own spirit. Yeah.
Wow.
And I know you can link to your own business, your spirit of your business. Colette Baron Reed, I don't know if you watch her on YouTube, but she talks about link to your business spirit, or the spirit of your business.
I didn't know that. So our business has got a spirit.
Yeah, so I guess it's an energy, so it's got a spirit, or
a life,
yeah, or an energy, I guess. Yeah, more so than spirit. Yeah,
I like the word spirit.
Yeah, it's a good word.
To me, that when you say spirit, that it's like a body, it's a person, it's
like an energy, I guess.
Yeah. Wow. And these cards?
These are life purpose cards.
Oh,
so these ones are a bit more about career, really.
Your cards are really phenomenal. Like, I only work with one deck of cards, and you've got, like, you're covering everything. Do you let people feel drawn to which set of cards they want to work, or why are you so...
Environmentalist is the card.
No. So obviously what we're talking about, our connection to nature, and how we want to get back into nature, and how we want to bring nature's wisdom to us, that card is clearly saying, yes, you're right.
Yeah, you're an earth angel who was born to protect nature and teach about nature and the animals. So yes.
Gosh. And I think that's very relevant to me, and it's the bluebells and the trees. But I also feel that's a message for the collective. Whoever's listening to this message feels drawn to, this is confirming like there is a connection to nature and the animals as well.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Can I touch these?
Yeah, they're okay to touch.
Because you'll cleanse them
Oh,
afterwards.
I'll cleanse them, yeah. So they have, yeah, I'll use aura sprays and crystals. And
you love your cards.
well, they just blow my mind sometimes. I'm probably quite skeptical of my cards, but time and time again they'll kind of come out with things that I think, oh.
Right, so what I'm doing, like while you're chatting, I'm like, okay, give me a sign. What is it I need to focus on this week? So, right, this is why I keep shuffling, hoping one would. They've been so well used, haven't they?
Yeah, they're good. I don't know, 20, 25 years old, maybe.
Wow, I've never seen any cards like these. I love them. I'm going to just. And you're going to turn this way over. Crystals. Well, I never expected that. Your connection to crystals and gemstones as a channel for.
There's all sorts of cards in there. She said, no, I don't want that one. I want a different one.
But it's the right one. I know it's the right one.
Well, if you think
Yeah.
and earth minerals and anything like amethyst and rose quartz, all the crystals, they're in the earth's energy. But you might also think about ley lines with that cards as well, because obviously that would come into earth energy quite a bit.
I feel like you
want another card.
Yeah,
you've got a career change.
That's better. I like that one. You're embarking upon a career that brings you joy and abundance you desire and deserve. Yeah, because I was saying to you when you arrived, wasn't I? Like I'd done like 6 card readings, and they were all they're still ragdoll guests. And it just made me realize that that's where my true happiness lays, is in the card readings and in the healing that I offer, but also stepping outside in nature and learning from you about the herbs. But from my point of view, it's like the spirits of I never thought of like the herbs being the spirit of the herbs helping with the healing.
Yeah, I can lend you a book. Archetype, I think, is the how some people call it, the archetype, or the higher kind of, like, I suppose, herb guide, maybe you might call it. I don't know, but you can link to the I'm sure that's how our ancestors did it.
I'm sure
they wouldn't have had guidebooks or textbooks about how to use rose for this and that, or how to use licorice for tummy ache. They wouldn't have had that, so they'd have linked to the energy of the spirit and gone, well, we'll use it for that.
Because there was no distraction of living in like concrete buildings with TV media, and we've lost that trust in our abilities, haven't we? Our trust in what we know. So I think we need to take a leaf out of our ancestors' books and kind of like return back to nature, or return back to why we're really here, you know, and follow it through.
There we go.
So
feels like I can close them now.
Yes. Do you know what? That's what I feel like. That is exactly what I feel like. This is the message that we had to get across today. So I'm going to say thank you so much.
Thank you.
And please, if you listen into this video and you want to learn more, or please share your comments, or if you don't want to share them on here, message me. Again, I'm going to put the links into how you can find Nicola on her webpage and Instagram, and you can reach out to Nicola. But I really hope you've enjoyed in this interesting conversation. And then hopefully we'll get together again and we'll do a part 3. And so thank you for listening, and
thank you.
I learned so much from you, and until the next time, take care, and lots of love from Nicola and myself here in Melton Mowbray. So stop.